What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm back here at the Ghetto Genesis of Lakewood, Florida, and I have this 2023 Genesis GV80. Now, this is one of my favorite SUVs, luxury SUVs. I'll tell you why in this video. Now, I've done a 2021. It was a 3.5 liter engine. Now, this is a 2.5 liter, which is a smaller engine, but it does have all the bells and whistles. It does have the advanced package. It does have the prestige package. And today, I'm going to take you on a detailed tour of this vehicle and then the test drive. But before we do all that, do me a favor, guys. If you like watching videos like this, help me out. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom of this video. Help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. With that said, let's get back to this vehicle. It's hard to believe that the GV80 is 2 years old already. The first one I did was in 2021, and this is 2023 model year. Now, I've done the 3.5, this is the 2.5, so we're going to see some differences as far as the drive. But when it was first introduced, a lot of people didn't know where to place it in the segment because of the clever Genesis design / marketing campaign. A lot of people compared it to an ultra luxury Bentley Bentayga, and that's because of some similarities in the design. And the similarities in the design are because Genesis actually snatched the top designers from Bentley and now they work for Genesis. So that's why some of the similarities. But the vehicle looks very, very nice. In my opinion, it's one of the coolest looking SUVs on the market right now. It does have this huge Genesis logo right here that's indented basically into this hood and creates this indent in the middle of the hood, kind of spreads out toward the windshield. Looks really, really nice. And if you look at this grille, now this crest looking grille, it's covered in the smoked chrome, very unique to the brand. You can see all of the vehicles from Genesis actually have it now. It does have the front view camera, and then the same kind of mesh grille is at the bottom, but it is not covered in chrome. This is all matte black. This is all open, allows for the maximum air to get inside of it, help with the cooling and aerodynamics. Another part that's open right here is this air intakes for on the sides right here, help with the coolings of the brakes and the better aerodynamics of this vehicle. And of course, we can't forget about the lights. You can see all of the Genesis right now have this double stacked fully LED lights. Now, this is kind of the signature of the brand right now, the grille, the logo, and the lights. You find it on all of their models. Now, we have the smaller engine, 2.5 liter in here. Let's check it out, what it's all about. Check it out how this 2.5 liter engine looks. So that's exactly what it is. It's a turbocharged inline-4 2.5 liter engine, 300 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Now, as far as the performance of it, it actually outruns a base Mercedes-Benz GLE 350, and the 0 to 60 on this one is about 6.1 seconds, just a tad slower than the Volvo XC60, and that's not the hybrid version. What I like about this engine, it sits down low, so it should help with the driving dynamics of this vehicle, but also in this engine compartment you'll find some bracing for more rigidity and better performance of this vehicle. The hood, of course, it does have the hood struts on both sides. It have some sound insulation right over there, so that should go for a nice and quiet ride. No changes were made on 2023 Genesis GV80 on the outside because it looks so good. They don't really need to change anything. So when you look at the front of this vehicle, you can see still those double stacked lights kind of go around the corner, and then at the same height it continues with its two trim pieces. But they're not only the trim pieces. When you lock this vehicle or unlock it or turn the turn signal on, these are actually turn signals. So nice and visible again. This is so unique to the Genesis brand. I can't think of any other other vehicles that have it. Now, as far as the mirrors, it does have the white cap mirrors, while matching the color of this vehicle. It does have the camera right inside of here. It is dimmed mirror, and it also has the blind spot assist that's built right inside of here. And of course, it does have the smart entry system. I locked it, I unlocked it, right? Basically without touching any buttons on the remotes. And let's take a look at the wheel setup. So when you go with the base Genesis 2.5 GV80, you're gonna get the 19-inch wheels standard. When you go with the advanced package, it's gonna get upgraded to 21-inch standard. But when you go the prestige package, it's gonna get you those, and those are 22-inch wheels. I like the design, the 5-spoke design on the wheels right here. Let's take a look at the size of the tire. They're 265s, 40/22s. That's the size of the tire. That is pretty large wheel, and you can see those big brake calipers peeking through that. Now, as far as the luxury accents, you have the chrome that's over here, and then you have this piano black underneath. It kind of breaks up that color of this particular vehicle. And of course, around the windows, you have a little bit of this smoked chrome, and of course, in the middle right here, the pillars are all blacked out for more cohesive look. Now, you do have the roof rails on top of here, and this one does have the panoramic sunroof. It is a 2-row SUV. There is an option where you can get that 3rd row with only one package, and that's available. I'm going to talk to you when we look at this interior, but let's move on to the back side of this GV80. Well, backside of this vehicle still looks pretty cool, and again, I can't find any changes between this and the 2021 that I've done. Still has this fully LED double stacked lights right here that includes pretty much everything. It does have the regular tail lights, brake lights. It does have the reverse lights and turn signals right here, and check it out how nicely they light up. Of course, you do have a 3rd brake light right on top of here, and then the wiper, and right underneath the wiper, that's where you actually open the gate. And this is a rear view camera. You have the Genesis spelled out, GV80 on one side. This is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. You have some reflector lights and this piano black bottom portion of the bumper. Now, you do have the exhaust tips on both sides, and this particular one has a tow hitch. And as far as the towing capacity, you get up to 6,000 pounds. So not too bad. Whether you go with the 4-cylinder or the 6-cylinder, you still get 6,000 pounds towing capacity. Well, let's press this button, and let's get this gate open. Let's check out the roominess in this Genesis GV80. I gotta tell you, it is pretty impressive. It's very deep behind the 2nd row seat. Now, like I said, there is an option. So if you wanted the 3rd row seat, you'd have to go with the Advanced Plus package. And quite frankly, I have not seen one on dealer's lots, so it's gotta be very rare. Now, the 3rd row seat, I haven't sat in it, but based on the dimensions of it, it's pretty much for kids only. But if that's what you wanna use it for, definitely ask for the Advanced Plus package. What else do we have here? Now, we do have this buttons, and these buttons will drop the 2nd row seat, so you don't have to actually go in the front and do that. Now, as far as going back and raising them up, you do have to actually get inside and lift them up. Part of this Lexicon stereo system, so there's speakers in the back, and right underneath here we have this double floor. So you have the cargo cover, and then if you lift the rest of it up, there's more storage underneath, more hidden compartments, and right over here there's still more storage underneath here. Now, this vehicle does not come with a spare tire, and you do have the fix-a-flat. As far as the roominess in the back seat, check this out. I have plenty of room in front of my knees. I have plenty of room above my head, even though it does have these 2 sunroofs in here, which is pretty cool. And I have plenty of shoulder room, so definitely enough room for 4 people. That 3rd person, again, it will be squashed in the middle right here, but you know, if there's somebody smaller, they can definitely fit in here. Well, let me show you the rest of the interior, because it's pretty darn cool. Starting with the door panel in the back right here, you can see all premium materials. It does have leather, it does have this wood trim. It does have the sunshade, which is a nice feature, even though it is manual. It does have the Lexicon stereo, 2 speakers up on top, 1 at the bottom. Again, some contrast stitching at the bottom. So really nicely designed vehicle. And moving on, inside of here, you do have seats. They're very nice, comfortable. They're perforated in the middle. You can see tubing, white tubing on the outside, also a contrast stitching. Now, if you wanted to have an armrest, you can fold this down. It does have basically the cup holders in here, and I believe this opens up as well for extra storage. Yes, it does. So that's a pretty cool feature. Let me get inside of here. I'll show you this middle console. All right, because you do have your own controls for the rear passengers. It is a single zone in the back, 2 zones in the front, but you have your own vents. You can see you can adjust your own fan speed, adjust the heated seats in the back, and right at the bottom here, you have a regular household outlet as well as 2 USB ports. So definitely you're not going to run out of juice in the back here. And this is a cool feature. We've seen it in other Genesis. If you are a passenger and you want to have more room, you can actually move this seat forward, and you can move the recliner up, so that creates more room for the passenger behind the passenger. Obviously, you don't want to mess with the driver. And what else do we have here? Now we have some seat back pockets all as well. We're going to check out and hear how this vehicle sounds when you open and close the door. This is a very nice and solid thumb. The vehicle is running. I have the key on me. That's why it's making this noise. Well, let's check out the front door panel right here. So in addition to what we saw in the back, you obviously have your mirror, window, and lock controls. You have 2 speakers. You do have 2 memory seat settings. Again, this nicely wrapped in leather, and it does have some contrast stitching. Lexicon at the bottom. Now, if you look at the seat itself, let's start with the bottom portion of it. Both seats, driver and passenger, are have electric adjustments. Now, this one has a lot more. It has more of a lumbar adjustments. It also has this Ergo button right here that basically does some massaging for you. But when you look at the seats itself, it is kind of sporty but also comfortable. It has some bolsters, but they're not overly aggressive. The design of the seat is very nice. It even has a very comfortable headrest. So moving on to the front, so it doesn't have aluminum pedals. It does have some kind of different design, like a 3D design on the pedals. And as far as the steering wheel, you do have the automatic adjustments or power adjustment on the steering wheel, tilt and telescoping. And one thing that I won't be able to show you while sitting in this vehicle is this hidden compartment right here, right underneath this bridge where the console is. There's a hidden compartment. You can put maybe your purse or something smaller in here, but it is there. Interior of this 2023 GV80 is absolutely beautiful, but we've seen that already. Again, I can't see any differences between this and the 2021 model that I've done, but I gotta tell you, let's go over some of the features that you can see here. First of all, design wise and material quality, this is all like leather wrapped. You have some contrast stitching. You have all of those vents that are nicely incorporated into this dashboard. Nothing is out of place. Then you have a little bit more of this leather wrapping right here. Then of course you have the glove box where you can see your owner's manual, etc. But it is a decent size glove box as well. You have this 14.5-inch screen in the middle, and then let's get back to the steering wheel. So the steering wheel, it is typical Genesis steering wheel. So you can see this design right here. It's so different than a lot of other steering wheels. You have the Genesis logo. You have buttons on both sides, and on the left hand side you see the mode and the start button. Those are customizable. You can set it up to a few different options if you'd like. I'll show you how to do it in the infotainment system. And then over here you have controls for what's going on in the instrument cluster. Then you have your lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, etc. And let's move on to the back of the steering wheel. So you can see you have the pedal shifters, and then the stalks for this is for the lights basically, and this is for your windshield wipers, but they also look and feel premium. Now if you look at the digital instrument cluster, now this is a premium model, so this is part of this prestige package. So you get this 3D instrument cluster. It looks absolutely great. It almost looks like the real thing, like it is not digital. But of course, once you start pressing some buttons, you can see that this all changes. So what do we see in the middle? You have the drive info, you have the lane keep assist, navigation, right? And then you can change that and go up and down. So let's go, right, drive info, right, tire pressure, attention level, accumulated info, select contents. So you can customize it. So on the right hand side you actually have a tachometer, on the left hand side you have a speedometer, you have the speed limit reader right there that displays in the middle, and then you can see the vehicle's got 29 miles in range. It says 5.9 miles per gallon, which is actually, that's because the vehicle was sitting and idling for the most part. The real fuel mileage is 22 combined. That's 20 in the city and 24 on the highway with this 4-cylinder engine. So now it does have some different drive modes, and let's see what happens when we change that. So we go to, let's say, snow mode. Now the display changes into this more white color. You go to eco, kind of bluish, comfort. Again, not too much changes. Sport gives you that red RPMs and then kind of an orange design, and then the custom, you customize your own. I'll leave it in sport because that's the way I like to drive these vehicles. And then let's move on to the middle section right here. Again, this big 14.5-inch screen, right placement. There's several ways you can control it. I mean, you can control it via touchscreen. So you're moving this is your main menu. Basically have map, navigation, media, HD radio, phone, connected services, phone projections. Let's take a look at the map because it always amazes me of how well it is designed. So this is your map. It takes up the entire screen, right? And then of course you can search for something several different ways. I don't know what I did, but it just turned off. Okay. Let's go back home screen. You go to navigation menu, and that's where you search POI categories, safe places, previous destinations, Genesis dealerships, etc. Then you have the Sirius XM, you have your media, and let's see what we have here. We can check out the sounds of nature. That's pretty much the only way that I can actually check out the stereo system, the Lexicon stereo system. Now I'm going to adjust the volume here. Calm sea waves. I gotta tell you, it's pretty close to the real thing, you know, and I know because I live close to the beach. HD radio data, phone connected services, phone projection. Now it does have the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. However, you need to have an approved USB cable to connect those, so no wireless connectivity, which is, you know, still don't know why. Voice memo is a feature where you can record a short voice recording instead of trying to write it down, and you can retrieve it later. And you can go to set up different vehicle driver assistance, drive mode, active sound design, etc. If you go to driver assistance, pretty much everything comes standard with any of the GV80s. So let's see. This is driver attention, forward, safety, lane keep assist, drive modes. That's where you can customize your drive modes. Head-up display, cluster, there you go, and have illumination, cluster theme selection. So it's linked to the drive mode right now. So basically what I showed you, when you change the different drive modes, that's what's going to happen if you wanted to customize it and basically turn that off and choose A, B, or C theme in here. Keep it linked to the drive mode. 3D cluster depth, that's pretty cool. Maximum right now, and that gives you that true 3D where you can basically think that this is non-digital but analog display. And let's go back in here. Yeah, reset fuel economy. Head-up display. Let's see what features we have. It is enabled. Unfortunately, it's so bright outside. I hope you can see a little bit. It's basically says 0 miles per hour, and then the speed limit is over here. So basically, it's going to be hard to see in the daylight. Okay, let's go back in here, and let's go back to the main menu. So seat adjustments, seat back recline. You can see that I can actually do that on the passenger seat without reaching out to the passenger seat over here. Cushion height, cushion tilt, fore aft position. So I mean, this is all you can do. This is for the passenger seat controls basically. Passenger talk, okay, the front microphone will pick up the driver's voice and play it through the rear speakers. That's in case your kids are misbehaving and you can actually talk to them through the speakers. Quiet mode basically adjusts the output of the media, and the volume level will be limited to value of 25, and it's only going to play in the front seats. And then you have the climate control settings. There you go. Nice animation, basically tells you what's going on, what's the temperature. You can see two zones in here in the front, and then there's one in the middle, and then it says the rear climate. There you go. We can control what's going on in here as well. So that's a very nice feature. One more thing to check out, you have a link to an owner's manual. Scanned with your phone is going to take you to the owner's manual of the vehicle. This is your basic screen. Now the passenger talk, you can see it's on. I'm going to turn that off, so I'm not going to get any microphone feedback, anything like this. One thing to check out in here before we go is the camera, right? So I'm going to turn on the camera. Right now it also is equipped with the parking assist, but the camera itself, I'm going to put it in the drive in the reverse, and you can see that it actually breaks up the screen in 3 different pieces. So that's basically, you know, that's about half of the screen, and then a quarter and a quarter. So I mean, I still think that it would benefit to have this maybe 3/4 and this half a screen. Get rid of the navigation while you're backing up. You really don't need it. So it does have the trajectory lines. As you can see, it does have it from the top, and it does have it in the back, so you can see of where you're backing up. And of course you have this pretty cool navigation or animation in here, kind of a drawn down look to see the vehicle, and then you have different ways to set this up. So that's a pretty cool feature as well. The camera, actually, it does have a nice quality, but you know, there's always room to improvement. However, this is probably a lot better than about 90% of its competitors, so definitely not gonna ding it. Now you can customize of what's going on here. Okay, turn by turn is displayed. Okay, you can do sounds of nature if you wanted to. You can do compass, you can do clock, so you can do different features. It doesn't have to be navigation. All right, so moving down here, you have another screen at the bottom, and that's basically what controls your climate control. So if you don't want to mess up with the top screen, you have basically what you need in here. And this is touchscreen as well, so pay attention. This air is coming out of this vent right now. If I want to add the bottom one, all I have to do is tap on it, and that changes where the air is coming out of. Of course, it does have the heated and ventilated seats. Okay, now we have the ventilated seats on, heated steering wheel. That's how you control your temperature. And then you have the auto off front window defogger, and then on the other side you have the rear window defroster, as well as the air recirculating. You also have some hard buttons right here, and one of them is customizable. The other ones are map, navi, radio, media, and setup. And then over here you have this beautiful console. Okay, you have this open pour wood, and you can open this up. You have the wireless charger right in here. You have the USB connectivity over here. That's part of the controls for that main screen, in case you didn't want to use the touch screen on it. So that's your volume control basically. And then you have back home menu, and this is how you control it. Very nice to the touch, kind of cool, like literally cold to the touch. And you can control it 2 different ways. You can do it basically selecting, like for example, if you want to write something down, you can select the letters and press it, or you can write the letter, like let's say we want to look for something in the navigation system. Show you. So I can start basically typing something like letter A, and it's gonna show up in the circle right here. So letter B, I'm doing it with left hand, so don't crucify me for it. Well, it's still A. All right, so, but then, you know, you catch the drift. So you can basically select different letters like K, etc. And it actually thought that was, yeah, it is K. So ABK, and then you can do delete, clear, and space using those 3 different gestures basically above here. So that's what the control is. You can always go to the home screen in case you get lost. It's going to take you to the main screen right here. And this is your gear shifter. The gear shifter, it's absolutely cool, right? So it is like this glass design. It's got the P in the middle. That's your parking, so you don't forget when you stop the vehicle you hit this parking. And then other than that, you have your drive, neutral, and reverse, and park. Whichever one is lit up, that's where you at. On the right hand side here, you have the drive modes. You also have the parking assist, parking sensors, 4x4 lock, and the hill descent assist. So those are pretty cool features as well. And then you also have the compartment right in the middle here, and you can put some more stuff in here as well. So that is what we have right at the bottom here. Now I take a quick peek right above here. So driver, illuminated mirror, that's the illumination. You have the same thing for the passenger. And then what you have your LED lights, and then you have the connected services like for the Genesis. Then you have 2 sunroofs. All right, let me show you how that looks. See, first sunroof, and then you have one right in the back here. All right, the first one can also slide open. The second one is fixed. This is mostly for getting more illumination inside of the cabin, but that is a pretty cool feature. Also, as far as the mirror, okay, so you don't have this smart mirror what a lot of manufacturers are using, but you do have a home link system right here, so you could program up to 3 different garage door openers, gate openers, whatever your heart desire. Now let's take this vehicle for a spin. Guys, the vehicle is running. I love the air conditioning on it. It really makes a huge difference. So it cools this vehicle nice and cool. Of course, the climate control seats, that's what makes a difference as well. Let's take a look at Genesis website. Let's see what we have available for 2023. So 2.5, 4-cylinder all-wheel drive starts at $55,550, and then the 3.5 V6 all-wheel drive starts at $62,700. Then there's a 3.5 V6 all-wheel drive Advanced Plus. That's the one with the 3rd row seats. Now it starts at $70,600, so that's the top of the line. Now, as far as the different packages, now this vehicle right here is almost $70,000, and that's because it does have the advanced package and it does have the prestige package. So check it out. This is a sticker for 2023 GV80 all-wheel drive. Total MSRP $69,025, and that includes the advanced package and the prestige package and a few other accessories that are added, including the tow hitch as well. So we're going to go through those options. I'm going to put those in the description of this video so you can check it out. And then let's take it for a spin. A couple things we're going to do here. One thing that I always do is I want to check out the turning radius of the vehicle and turn the wheel all the way to the left and see how many parking spots it takes to turn this vehicle around. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and just a little bit. I do it one more time because I think I had it all wrong. Turn it to the right. Now I have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 4.5. So that's, yeah, that's about in line with all of the mid-size luxury SUVs. Now this vehicle is about 194 inches long, so if you look at, to compare it to something, it is very comparable to, let's say, like my Pilot or the Toyota Highlander, or out of the luxury vehicles, Mercedes-Benz GLE or BMW X5. That's where you look in the category of here. So, you know, like I mentioned, this one is $69,000, but there's really not an option that you can add to this package. Well, maybe just a few like single options, but packages, it has it all. So it is the most luxurious one. My favorite features, I gotta tell you, this is this fully digital display, and it does have this camera, the blind spot cameras that activate when you turn on your turn signal. So now I have the turn signal that's going to the left, so we have the left camera, and then if I switched it to the right, we'll have the right camera, so that eliminates the blind spot assist. I'm going to take that on the road, check out a little bit of the driving dynamics, acceleration. I actually have a nice spot in here. This is a 2.5, guys. Let's see how it accelerates. Yeah, there you go. So it's nice, quick, very peppy as far as the acceleration. It really moves, and it moves without struggling, so you don't hear this engine working overly hard to get it you to where you want to be. Now I got it up to about 55 miles an hour. That's pretty much as far as I can go in this residential area here, so we're not going to do anything crazy, but it is nice, happy. You can definitely have no issues merging into traffic, and you can do it in style too, because it sounds pretty good. It is in the sports mode. I'm gonna flip it over to the comfort mode, and yeah, it quieted down. There's no adjustments on the bolsters or anything like this that has changed since I changed this drive mode. Just basically a little bit of a softer ride. Now it does have what they call electronically controlled suspension, so that suspension adjusts depending on which drive mode you're in. Very pleasant ride, great visibility. Man, let's take a turn in here. Let's see how it rolls. It does have a little bit of a body roll, but not too much. I'm gonna have an opportunity to check that out in just a little bit. And we're also gonna check out the braking. So I'm gonna hit the brakes a little bit harder and see how it dives, or if it dives. There you go. So yeah, there's a little bit of the dive, but not worse than any of the other SUVs. I mean, as a matter of fact, it's probably a little bit better. I tell you, I just hit that Ergo motion seat, and I can see here's my options that I have, you know, for the massage, kind of like I have the pelvic stretching, I have a lumbar stretching, and whole body stretching. These are my options that I can check in here. I can actually leave it in whole body stretching. That kind of gives you that, well, it's not a real massage, but it's you can feel that working in the background, right? So I mean, it's going to keep you alert, and it's going to keep you relaxed as well, which is pretty nice. So overall, once again, you know, this is a 2.5 liter, 6.3 seconds 0 to 60. I guess it's about 6 seconds on the 3.5. Not a huge difference. My biggest concern was like looking at the difference between 4 and 6. Is the engine working really harder, much harder than on the 6-cylinder? And the answer is no. It doesn't feel like it. All the luxury amenities are there. You know, I mean, the gas mileage, I mean, 22 combined, 20 in the city, 24 in the expressway, not bad. And the warranty, there's something that I have to mention with all of the Genesis reviews. You have 10 years, 100,000 miles, powertrain warranty on every of Genesis that you buy. You have, you know, 5 years, 60,000 miles. That's basically your full warranty, so that's the best in its class. So here it is. This is the Genesis 2023 GV80. Super impressed with it, guys. Definitely don't skip it if you're looking for a mid-size luxury SUV. I know a lot of people go like Mercedes, BMW, they're kind of blinded by it. And they're great vehicles, don't get me wrong. I really do like Mercedes and I do like BMW, but this is definitely a very worthy competitor in its segment. So check it out, guys. Check out the rest of my channel. If you like watching videos like this, consider subscribing. Do me a favor, click that like button. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. It also helps me out with getting more vehicles from the dealerships. So I really appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.